So, before we wrap up the episode, we're going to go into a spoiler zone. So, if you do not want to know who the current HoHs are, so Keith, first of all, Aaron, you know who the HoHs are, right?
I do, Julie.
Okay. Cool. So, Keith, before we reveal to you, and for anyone that doesn't know that's watching, who the two HoHs are, do you have any guess or hopes? Is there anyone that you hope will be HoH?
My hope is that I obviously want Donnie to win HoH. I want to see a shift in power. Ideally, I would also like to see Nicole in HoH. I have faith in her. She had a hot mess HoH previously, but I feel like she can do something with it this week. I don't want to see a Zach HoH. I already saw it this week, and it was enough. And I kind of wouldn't mind seeing Caleb win HoH, just because if Caleb wins HoH, it'll protect him, and I feel like he's a house target. So I'm thinking either Donnie and Nicole or Donnie and Caleb would be my ideals. I'm thinking, based on our conversation, that Nicole and Hayden are not HoHs this week, but maybe y'all are just putting the blinders over my eyes. So I don't know. Those are my guesses.
Well,
I would never spoil. How dare you?
I will, though, and I'll do it right now. So, the HoHs for this week are, in fact, Donnie and Nicole.
Wow, good job me. That's exactly what I wanted. So this would be the perfect week. Okay, here's my reaction. This is the perfect week for Christine to blow up the detonators. Like, Christine has to do it this week. If she doesn't, then she has no game plan. She should be evicted next. This is Christine's one and only opportunity to redeem herself on a social level and a strategic level. There's no reason for you to stay loyal to the detonators this week. You finally have two HoHs that are not part of this core group that are running the house, Christine. So you need to blow up the detonators and get all four of them on the nomination block and compete against each other in the Battle of the Block competition. Get rid of all of them. They had never had your back. Otherwise, you would have never been hitting the nomination block as soon as you were part of that alliance. So, Christine, this week is definitely, I'm keeping my eye on you, girl. Like, you need to blow up that alliance with these two as HoH.
Who do you think should leave this week? For Donnie and Nicole's game, who do you think should leave this week? Anyone
in the detonators for their games. I know they don't necessarily know the detonators exist, but for their game, one of them has to leave. My concern is that they're going to go after Caleb, thinking that Caleb's part of the detonators. So that's the only red flag, because I know Caleb is definitely on Donnie's radar as well as Nicole's. So that's the only concern I have in the mix. Like, they're very protected with Beast Mode Cowboy being in the mix.
I agree, and I think that's a big mistake. I think
that's why it's so essential for Christine to come forth with that information to have that power shift be so ideal.
I agree with that. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for them to take off Caleb, because at the end of the day, they're taking a player away from people like Frankie and Derek. But if you really want to do some damage for this week, and like it's your shot, I think you at the very least got to take out like Zach or even Frankie or Derek. I think they should. I think Zach should be their target.
Really?
I probably me being very biased, but I don't think so with Zach. Like, yeah, but Zach's just loud. He's just a loud character. If you really want to do damage, I think you need to go for Frankie or Derek.
That's
for me, and it's my bias. I think Cody needs to get out the door. Like, he's so irrelevant. He needs to leave. Like, he's not doing anything for anyone's game. He's like the biggest irrelevant person. Like, Victoria's more relevant for being irrelevant than he is. Like, Cody can just go. Like, why is he even in this game? He's having a final two with he's having a final two with the most powerful player in the game, Derek. So he's obviously not playing to win. And he's coming into this game clueless as ever, trying to figure out where the bridesmaids are when he's evicting them every single week. So, like, what do you want, Cody? And what did you get accomplished in your HoH reign? Getting rid of Brittany, who, had your back? So, like, come on, Cody. You can leave this game as well.
I think that if Nicole and Donnie do decide to take a big shot, I think this is going to be a really big... It's going to show us what the big difference is between Derek and Frankie's game, as well as the weaknesses of Frankie's game, because Frankie being so social and being so out of the open is when stuff like this is going to catch up to him and make him the target instead of Derek.
I also just remembered that Donnie doesn't like Christine. Like, I forgot about that key piece of information.
Well, the best part about Donnie being HOH is he has the ability to put so many people up and justify it. Like, he can put up Cody. and he can put up Caleb as just pawns. But it's just like but then Battle of the Block becomes the factor. But it just depends if Nicole is on the same page.
All right, Jacob and Erine, do you think that Victoria or Jocasta will see the nomination chair this week?
I think
I already know who's on the block, so.
I do as well.
Oh, y'all. Okay, so I'll go ahead and answer that question. Based on your reactions, I'm guessing one of them is on the nomination chair, but I would have guessed not. Like
before, because nominations happened like 15 minutes ago. I was like, Jacasta's not going to get nominated because Donnie's not going to allow that, and I think that Nicole would respect that. But I don't think either one of them have a good relationship with Victoria, and they probably view Victoria as like a pawn in their game. But I think it would still be a big mistake for them to put either one of them up on the block. I think you got to put up, like, I think when I heard that both of them won, I think, all right, well,
all strong players need to go up on the block.
Yeah, Nicole can nominate Zach, and then she can nominate. See, that's where it gets tricky for Nicole, because Donnie could nominate Cody, and he could nominate Caleb. And so, but then I don't know who Nicole, or no, Donnie could nominate Cody and Christine, and then Nicole could nominate Caleb and Zach. And that's what I think their move should have been, or should be. I don't know.
Whoops, there goes the spoilers.
I'm sorry.
What needs to happen is Donnie, and see, like, Nicole nominated Donnie too, so we have that dynamic. But I think what needs to happen is they just need to have all four guys, just four men. They need four men on the nomination chair. I mean, Donnie was the token guy nominee along with every one of the girls in the house. Zach only hit the nomination chair because it was Devin's HOH train. I mean, come on. Like, Devin can do anything with his HOH train. But the only thing that should happen is all four of the nominees should be men. Unless they're trying to, maybe pair Caleb with Victoria so that they would lose Battle of the Block. Maybe that would be a strategy in nominating them two together. But at the end of the day, if Victoria is still on the nomination chair next to Caleb, there's a good chance that she could go, especially if, remove Caleb. Maybe he is a house target, but like any one of the detonators are with Victoria or Jocasta, then Victoria or Jocasta is going to be leaving.
It's going to, I don't know, we can see some very interesting things could go down. Because, like, if I'm Derek, and whether it comes to keeping Caleb or not, I think it's going to be whether or not how much he trusts Frankie, and whether or not he believes that Caleb is, at the end of the day, a number for Frankie over a number for him.
So I don't think Caleb is a number for Derek at all.
I don't think so either. I think Frankie has Zach and Caleb, and apparently Christine, from what I've heard, and Derek just has Cody.
Oh, I thought Caleb would have, or Derek would have Caleb.
No, Caleb and Frankie have been super close since they were the first HoH.
Yeah, they've been bonding since week 1.
Oh.
And Zach is... I think Derek thinks he might have Zach, but I think Zach at the end of the day would choose Frankie over Derek.
So you're beginning to see the rise of, like, two leaders on side? So, like, one's Frankie and one's Derek?
I think
and
so.
They're both on the same side, so it's like they're going to have to strike each other sometimes.
Yeah, but, I mean, I think there's been a little talk already of preparation, and I think that's what it comes down to, which is another reason why Derek might be cool with getting Caleb out.
I really hope Donnie nominates Cody. Like, Cody nominated him, and that was so recent.
He could totally do it. Like, even if he wants to, no matter who he wants the back door for, just be like, listen, I need pawns. You put me up. I feel like it's better. I feel like I don't want to put someone up if I feel like they don't have to. You're not my target, but I need people on that chair, and I've decided that you're going to be one of them. And he has...
This conversation is over.
This conversation is over. Goodbye.
I feel like I'm not going to be disappointed by Donnie's nominations. I hope I'm not, because I feel like Donnie has such a good understanding of what's going on in the house. The only thing that's going to mess it up is this whole Battle of the Block situation. Because in order to remain HoH, you need to have weak nominees competitively. And that time after time has been Victoria and Jocasta. Yeah.
And so, well, that's why I'm so excited for this Thursday, because it's a double eviction, and I think it's safe to say that it probably means the end of the twist. So we could really see a big shift in the game after this eviction.
This also makes me think that Diego. This also makes me think that Donnie will get evicted in the double eviction.
Yeah, we might see a Judd situation on Thursday.
A Jeff situation?
Judd.
Yeah.
JWD.
You never thought was to even like go out the door.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Which is always good. I don't like.
It's what the game needs.
Yeah, like that's always good for we the viewers, because you actually don't get DRs from them during that, so you don't know. And I mean, you always see them like whispering, during like right when they come back from commercials or whatever, but you don't know what they're actually thinking, and so that person gets voted out, and we're like, what?
I think my guess is I think Caleb is in a lot of trouble this week.
Agreed.
That's who I would guess is probably going to be the target. Whether or not they should target him, I think that's who.
And it's so unfortunate because the detonators would have targeted Caleb too, I think.
Well, it's just like they're using, like, this is what they have Caleb around for.
Exactly,
it's for moments like this when they aren't in power, and it's like, well, we're like, he's a meat shield for a reason.
Yeah.
So.
Man, but I would hope that Nicole and Donnie, knowing that Amber's gone, that think about, like, who am I benefiting by getting rid of Caleb this week? No one, because Caleb's by himself. Oh, but they don't know that. They don't know that. They still think the bomb squad is intact. That's right.
And he's so arrogant and full of himself.
And thinking that he's running the house. You're right, yeah. So, yeah, Caleb's basically donezo this week unless he wins veto, which would actually be a great thing. Unless the two... Well, I don't know. It'll be just an awful week, I'm sure.
We'll see what happens. But, I don't know. It could be very interesting. I think I'm really excited because hopefully, it's definitely a shift. Just seeing some different people in power. Nicole different, but so we'll see what happens. We'll see who goes home, and you'll definitely want to catch our recap next Thursday, where we go over the veto, the eviction, and the double eviction. We're going to have so much stuff to go over, and so you definitely don't want to miss out on that. And before then, make sure you watch Sunday night's episode with the HoHs, the Battle of the Blog, nominations, the whole spiel, and catch our recap on that. Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting week. So no matter what you're doing, you just want to make sure that you stay basic.
Stay basic.
Stay basic.
Stay basic.